Welcome back to TMNtv News. I'm Liz Steck, and the date is December 6, 2021. Former U.S. Senator Bob Dole passed away yesterday, December 5th, at the age of 98. Dole was from Russell and represented Kansas in the U.S. Senate for nearly 30 years. He is remembered as an influential politician, serving as the Republican Senate leader, chairman of the Republican National Committee, and Gerald Ford's vice presidential running mate. Dole was also a presidential candidate in 1996. On the afternoon of his passing, President Biden remembered Dole as a man with unerring sense of integrity and honor. On November 24th, a new COVID variant was reported to the World Health Organization from South Africa named Omicron. On December 1st, this variant was detected from a United States citizen who had just returned from South Africa from traveling. A second case was presented the next day within the United States. The World Health Organization designated that the Omicron variant be marked as a variant of concern. This is due to data pointing to increased COVID infections in South Africa about the time that the Omicron variant was present. Currently, the variant is present in at least 19 states with no reports of death or hospitalization. However, the World Health Organization states on their website that the Delta variant is still the biggest present threat of COVID-19. Dr. Tedros, director of the World Health Organization, shares that at the same time, we must not forget that we are already dealing with a highly transmissible, dangerous variant, the Delta variant, which currently accounts for almost all cases globally. For more information on COVID-19, please stay up to date with cdc.gov. Last Friday, the Supreme Court justices heard arguments concerning the case of Roe v. Wade. Many speculate that the Supreme Court justices may have a majority in favor of repealing it. However, we may not see the final ruling for months. As the justices debate, here is Representative from North Carolina's 11th Congressional District, Madison Cawthorn, pleading his case in front of the Supreme Court for Roe v. Wade to be overturned.
Madam Speaker, imagine you've just walked out of this chamber, and outside is a gorgeous sunset. You have a Polaroid camera, and you snap a beautiful picture, and the gray photo prints out the front. You hold it and shake it, waiting for the picture to appear. But suddenly, someone walks by and snatches your photo, ripping it to shreds. You're stunned. You cry, "Why did you destroy my picture?" The person replies, "Oh, it wasn't a picture. It wasn't fully developed yet." All of us in this room realize how asinine that reasoning is. That photo was transforming into a beautiful image. This illustration by Seth Gruber is simple, but it's what our nation has done to the most precious image of all, the image of God. Madam Speaker, a silent genocide has slipped beneath the conscience of America. Precious works of our Creator, formed and set apart, meet death before they breathe life. Eternal souls woven into earthen vessels, sanctified by Almighty God and endowed with the miracle of life, are denied their birth by a nation that was born in freedom. God's breath of life blown away by the breath of man. This cruel and fallen world may seem too filthy for their very presence, but these precious temples are crafted in the image of God Himself. One day, perhaps when science darkens the soul of the left, our nation will repent. But until then, the carnage of this unconscionable deed will stain the fabric of our nation. I hope that the Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade. I hope that we stop the genocide of abortion in this country. With that, I yield back.
Other politicians, such as Senator Amy Klobuchar, have different views as she urges the Senate to pass the Women's Health Protection Act to write Roe v. Wade into law as soon as possible. Senator Klobuchar posted a video of her on the show Meet the Press, where she says the following about this event, courtesy of her personal Twitter account.
You're going to go back to a time of back alley abortions. You're going to go back to people are going to be busing from one state to another. 75% of Americans believe that this decision should be made between a woman and her doctor. 75% of Americans. This wasn't a case where the court was going with the changing mores of society. No, they are on their own. Their raw political power pushed those new justices onto the court, and this is going to be the outcome. And I would agree with your run-up to this. This is going to be about Americans standing up to assert their rights.
Moving into campus news, on December 3rd, Student Engagement and Student Health and Wellness Services held an event for the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. The event was put on with the hope to educate and spread awareness about disabilities across campus. We spoke to Alexis Torres from Student Engagement about the importance of accessibility and inclusion here at Fort Hays.
Student Engagement, we wanted to kind of do more of an educational event today to kind of describe like what disabilities are and how you could have full control on campus if you do have a disability. Even though disabilities has been talked about, it still falls into the spectrum of mental health with the stigma that we shouldn't talk about it, out of sight, out of mind, and if you do have something that's different than the norm, then it's bad. And so reaching out and doing this program and this event helps people break out of that stigma.
For more information, you can contact the Student Health and Wellness Services located on the 3rd floor of the Fishley Wills Center for Student Success. College provides many opportunities for students to learn more about the world around them and the problems in it. Here at Fort Hays, the History of Graphic Design class is doing just that with their annual Let Your Voice Be Heard poster competition. I had the opportunity to go to the exhibit and learn more about it. The 14th annual Let Your Voice Be Heard competition took place from November 29th through December 3rd. This competition features posters made by students in the History of Graphic Design course that focus on current political and social issues as a way to promote civic engagement. The posters were on display for a week, and anyone could come to the exhibit and vote for their favorite 5 posters. I had the pleasure of speaking with senior graphic design student Annie Hayes and learning more about the exhibit.
This project that we worked on are considered political posters, but more than just politics, we also talk about social issues and just issues that are really important to us as students. And so, I personally worked on some posters that involve religion and not necessarily just politics. But it really helps us to get our voices out there, and it focused on making sure we understood how to make the biggest impact with just a quick glance at the poster.
The exhibit will be on display through December 10th, and the winners will be announced December 6th. With Tiger Media Network, this is Liz Steck. This week's weather is mostly sunny with the highest high being 63 degrees, which is Thursday, and the lowest low coming in around 23 degrees tomorrow and Friday. Tonight, south winds will be 10 to 20 miles per hour with winds decreasing for the rest of the week. Every day this week, except Thursday, will have lows below freezing. Thursday's low does not get much warmer, coming in at 35 degrees. The highs of the weeks are hanging on to mid-50s and low 60s. The highest temperature of the week will fall on Thursday with 63 degrees. With little sunlight during this time of year, get ready to bundle up for chilly winter weather. This weather report will change throughout the week, so stay up to date with kwch.com. When we come back, we'll go to Caden for sports.
My name is Allie, and I'm a senior business major at Fort Hays. I love working for TMN. It has made me a more experienced photographer and really helped me professionally due to all the changing environments and the different opportunities. I've also been able to meet and talk to a lot of people, which has helped bring me on my show.
The average person uses around 100 gallons of water per day. With only 3% of the water on Earth being freshwater, it is important to be mindful of how much you are using. Turning off the sink while you are brushing your teeth is an easy way to conserve water. It is also important to never leave running water unattended. Replacing leaky faucets is another easy way to cut down on water usage. Also, adjusting the load size on your washing machine will ensure that water is not being wasted. Do your part to help conserve water.
Tiger Media Network is the independent student media organization here at Fort Hays State University. It encompasses audio, video, print, photography, digital news. There's a little bit of everything at TMN.
They offer so many different events, opportunities, so many different things to go out and do and learn so that you can make a more compelling story and just help develop you as a storyteller.
I toured this facility and I saw this radio station and then the TV studio, and I was like, yeah, this is something that I definitely need to be a part of. Here, you know, I was instantly able to make my own content, being able to broadcast my own shows.
If you have a passion about sports or about news, it doesn't matter. You can come here and you can work from day one and get that experience that demonstrates your ability to be a professional in the media industry.
Hello Tigers, I'm Caden Sanders with your weekly sports update. The fall season has finally finished as the men's soccer team made it to the Elite Eight. The Tigers came back in both games versus Wisconsin Parkside and Lake Erie College. In the second round, the Tigers took on Wisconsin Parkside Rangers. The Tigers came back in the game to win 2-1. The third round of the tournament, the Tigers took on Lake Erie Storm. In this match, the Tigers had their work cut out for them as they were behind 2 goals as the Storm's Daniel Utgard scored in the 9th and 37th minute. But the Tigers did not give up as De La Torre, Bevis, and Art found the back of the net. The Tigers did have to wait to add more suspense to the game as they would claim the golden goal from Art in the 103rd minute of the match. The trip would finally stop for the Tigers in the Elite Eight of the tournament as the Tigers would face on the region's #1 team, University of Indianapolis. UIndy had the only 2 goals of the day, and the Tigers were shut out in the final game of their season. The Tigers finished their season with a record of 15-6-2. The women's basketball team is back in the national spotlight as the Tigers are at the very top of the list of Division II. The women's basketball program has only achieved this accomplishment once before. Last week, the Tigers faced 2 in-state rivals to start their league competition against Washburn and Emporia State. The Tigers had no problems against Washburn, winning 72-50, as Olivia Hollenbeck led the team with 13 points and 4 rebounds. The Tigers finished the week with the Hornets, narrowly defeating the Hornets 70-65, with a big contributor for the Tigers win, as Katie Wagner had a double-double, having 20 points and 13 rebounds on the day. The Tigers are currently 7-0 and look to improve on the season against another ranked opponent in Nebraska Kearney at home on Saturday. The men's basketball team is off to a great start to the season as they are undefeated on the year as they have a 6-0 record. 2 of those wins were against Kansas Community Colleges. As the Tigers start their conference games, they also played Washburn and Emporia State. The Tigers had a convincing win over a preseason #2 team in the conference in Washburn, winning both halves and finishing the game with a 68-65 win. Nige Wright had 15 points, followed up by Jared Vidstum's 14 points. The Tigers finished the weekend with a hard-fought contest against Greg Doty and company, as the Tigers and Hornets would need overtime to find the winner of a contest. The Tigers had a fiery comeback as the Tigers would score 45 points in the second half and scored 9 points in overtime period to win the game, 78-76, as Jared Vidstum ended the game with a double-double with 21 points and 14 rebounds. The Tigers play against Avila at 7 p.m. That's all for this week's sports recap. When we come back from break, Liz will have more news.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Teachers today are finding new ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Tomorrow, December 7th, 2021, will be the 80th anniversary of the bombing of Pearl Harbor. To commemorate the anniversary, the Fort Hays Singers were invited to sing at the service in Hawaii, along with 7 other choirs and 6 bands. Here's what Fort Hays Singer member Katie Walters had to say about the upcoming trip.
I think it's really awesome because we touch people with music in a way that other areas don't. In the arts, that's where we share part of ourselves. And especially at a service like this in which, it's a memorial for what happened and, the tragedies that went on at that time 80 years ago, it's really touching to see that, we're going to go and we're going to perform pieces from our hearts. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of tears shed. And especially with vocal music, I just feel like I myself specifically can really share part of my soul with the audience. And I hope that, that's how they all feel when they receive our performance while we're there.
After they sing in Hawaii, the Fort Hays Singers will finish the semester with their annual performance at the Cathedral of the Plains in Victoria on December 12th. December has begun and Christmas is in full swing. The city of Hays kicked off the holiday season with a tree lighting ceremony at the downtown pavilion last Friday. Other activities such as caroling, pictures with Santa, and carriage rides took place as well. The ceremony was part of the Frostfest, which is a series of holiday events taking place throughout the month.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The next and last events will be on December 18th. The Fox Theater will be showing How the Grinch Stole Christmas and the Polar Express. The Frostfest parade will be going down Main Street. The Christmas spirit is on full display here on campus as well. The annual tree lighting took place outside of Sheridan Hall last week, along with various activities for the community. I was there to see all of the festivities. To celebrate the start of the holiday season, the annual tree lighting was held outside of Sheridan Hall on December 1st. The event, which was hosted by Student Engagement, offered a variety of activities for both students and members of the community to participate in, such as listening to carolers, cookie decorating, carriage rides, a coloring contest, and of course a visit from Santa. President Tisa Mason opened up the event with a few words.
In Christmas, light represents wisdom and one's connection to God. Hanukkah is often referred to as the Festival of Lights. In Kwanzaa, light represents unity and hope for a better future.
The event featured displays about holidays other than Christmas that are celebrated during this season for people to read about. With Tiger Media Network, this is Liz Steck, and happy holidays. After seeing if students prefer Thanksgiving or Christmas, Tierney McGivney is back with another episode of This or That. This time to find out which is better, pumpkin or peppermint.
Hi, I'm Tierney McGivney here with Tiger Media, and today we're going to be doing This or That, peppermint or pumpkin. This or that, peppermint or pumpkin?
Pumpkin.
Why?
It smells better and there's more uses.
This or that, peppermint or pumpkin?
Peppermint.
Pumpkin.
Why?
I've never been a big pumpkin girl. I don't know.
I like pumpkins.
Peppermint or pumpkin?
Definitely peppermint because I do not like pumpkin pie at all.
Peppermint or pumpkin?
Peppermint.
Why?
I like the way it tastes better.
Peppermint or pumpkin?
Peppermint.
Why?
The taste and it's like minty.
Peppermint or pumpkin?
Pumpkin.
Why?
I feel like peppermint's a little too much sometimes. I mean, it depends, honestly. Like, pumpkin is just a nice sweet. It's not too much. It's not strong. But like peppermint, I feel like it can be too strong.
Peppermint or pumpkin?
Pumpkin.
Why?
Tastes better.
This or that, peppermint or pumpkin?
Pumpkin.
Peppermint or pumpkin?
Peppermint.
Why?
Because pumpkin tastes bad.
Peppermint or pumpkin?
Pumpkin.
Peppermint or pumpkin?
Peppermint.
This or that, peppermint or pumpkin?
Pumpkin.
Why?
It just reminds me more of like fall, the holidays. So
This or that, peppermint or pumpkin?
Peppermint.
Do you have a reason why?
I hate pumpkin.
This or that, peppermint or pumpkin?
I'd have to say peppermint.
Do you have a reason why?
It's more based on candy. I mean, I'll prefer pumpkin if it was, like pie or something like that, but peppermint all the way, especially because it's Christmas coming around.
Peppermint or pumpkin?
peppermint by far.
Do you have a reason why?
Pumpkins are just weird. They're just very strange, and I've never understood like the guts of them. That's not a vibe.
This or that, peppermint or pumpkin?
Peppermint.
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 Do you have a reason why?
Tastes better.
Pumpkin's just weird.
No particular reason.
Okay, thank you guys.
That's it for TMNtv News today and for this semester. We'll be taking a break until after the new year. Until then, you can keep up to date with Fort Hays News on tigermedianet.com, as well as our Facebook and YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us, and happy holidays, Tigers.